Hi, I'm Carla Stoeffler. We're at the Empire Beauty School of Paramus today. Today what I'd like to show you is a basic foil technique to do some color correction on. Actually, my model is one of my own students. This is Ashley. She's a student here. She's going to be a graduate this June. Um, I'd like to show you first a before shot of the platform upon which we started. As you could see, Ashley's hair started, she was trying to go from dark to light to change her look from the winter to like the spring season. And in a poor economy, we have a lot of clients using boxed color at this time. To try to save $1, we're using a box. And ultimately, we get very patchy results. Ashley started with a hot root. Her ends were very red because it didn't lift through any of her prior color. To correct this, I did a basic corrective foil technique to diffuse the color, as I'll show you. Um, on Ashley's hair, what I did was highlights and lowlights throughout her entire head to break up that color. Now she had a lot of warmth at the roots, as that was virgin hair, and her ends had a lot of color deposit that the single process color that she applied did not break through. So her ends were in no way matching her root area. What I did to break that up is I mixed a low light formula of 6N and 7N. I wanted to use neutral tones to kind of diffuse the warmth that she had both at the root and through the ends. Bringing that neutral back from the root to the base is going to diffuse the red, bring some depth through the top of her hair, and reconnect the root area to those ends. As well as that, I mixed a lightener formula. I used 20 volume throughout, and I actually interweaved my highlights to really break up that color. As I will show you, I weaved her hair. I really didn't take thick sections as I want to break up her hair. I wasn't looking for chunky highlights. I'm looking to diffuse what she had so as not to put another single process color on her hair as her hair was already really in shock. So when I weave out this section, I actually like to pin that up because the technique I'm going to use to diffuse that color, I'll take that bottom portion now and just pull out what fell in between those weaves. And that's actually my low light. So right on that hair is where I placed my neutral formula that created my low light. Fold that up. Clearly we're simulating. And right over top, I place my foil with my highlight. That way the two weave right into one and it's really going to break up that base. So I traveled through her entire head that way. There were certain spots where I had to lift the root a little bit more that were left out. And as you could see, it really diffused her color and created a nice soft base for the summertime. One more thing that I wanted to share is breaking the base. Really, when it's time for Ashley's touch-up, not only does it matter where we started to where we finished, which is a beautiful product, but how is my client going to maintain this look? Her natural color is probably a level 6A. She's got a lot of ash in her color. She's probably pretty light as a child, darkening to that mousy brown, as we'll call it. I like to break the base. That way every time I'm going to reassure my client it's not going to be this intensive every single time we do your hair. When you get a root area in and you start to get that line of demarcation, what we're going to do so that we don't have to highlight every time and spend all that money on an intensive color correction is we're going to break the base. The way I break the base is I'll mix, and this is with any line, I use Top Chic. So I use Goldwell Top Chic, a level 10N, depending on the base. If she's going to pull a lot of warmth, I'm going to use like a 10 ash or a 10 violet, depending on her hair and the tones that are going to lift out. Now on Ashley's hair, I would go in with 10N because she's not going to pull too much warmth. It's probably going to pull a little gold, which ultimately that's the base we want to see. So to get that perfect, like Jennifer Aniston, golden base that we're going to use to maintain her look, I'm going to use a level 10N. And I'm going to create what's almost a 5 volume. I'm going to take 20 volumes. So if I mix an ounce and a half of 10N, I'm going to go in there with half an ounce of 20 volume and then 1 full ounce of water to cut that down to where it's just above a level 5. And we're going to paint that on her root area. We could do that either on dry hair or wet hair. And we're going to paint that on that root area where we have that line of demarcation just to really break through that base, expose those gold tones, and break up that line of demarcation. That'll get your client an extra 6 weeks out of their color, save them some money over the summer months, and elongate their highlight. So thank you so much for spending some time with us at Empire Beauty School. We really appreciate you visiting us.